Welcome, listeners and guests, to another episode of the Northeast Georgia Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Blickenstaff, and I'm thrilled to be your guide through the vibrant world of real estate in Northeast Georgia. This podcast is your go-to source for all things real estate in our region. No matter if you're a buyer, seller, investor, or just plain curious about the property landscape here, you've come to the right place. So join me as we dive into local businesses, explore real estate trends, break down economic forecasts, and keep you in the loop with everything related to the residential and commercial real estate markets. You can expect insightful discussions, expert interviews, and valuable insights to help you stay informed, all while making smart real estate decisions. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to the Northeast Georgia Real Estate Podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Northeast Georgia Real Estate Podcast. I'm excited on this one. As you guys know, I like to not only be involved with the local community and bring you guys local businesses, but also different nonprofits, charity organizations, and things like that. So I'm excited to sit down with Mr. Cary Rivers with Downtown Ministries and really just give you an opportunity to talk about like who you are, what you guys do, and what's your involvement in the community.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jake. So my name is Cary Rivers, as he said, and I'm the Director of Development at Downtown Ministries. I've been in Athens since about 2013. I came here to retire, and that didn't work out. They got me after about 2 days. So Downtown Ministries is pretty much of an umbrella type of ministry here in Athens. We started in 2003. We started in the inner city sports ministry, with football, basketball, cheerleading, gymnastics with the gym dogs, different types of sports. We now are doing golf and track and other things. Probably about 250, 300 kids in inner city Athens. Lots of volunteers, lots of volunteer coaches and mentors. Then in about 2013, we realized that the sports was great, but we needed to really get more involved with the kids. So we started our own school. So Downtown Academy started in 2013.
Okay.
And it's a fully accredited Christian private school, kindergarten through fifth grade. Got about 60 students, and it's a very active school. Kids are obviously we have very small classrooms, a lot of one-on-one teaching. We've been doing very well on reading and the test scores and whatnot. So we feel it's a good match for folks that cannot afford a good private school or a bigger private school, because we, in most cases, the constituents that we serve are eligible for about 90+% scholarship.
Okay, wow.
So that's part of what I do is, and development work is raising money for the school. We also have another part of our ministry, which is called Downtown Life, which is more community-based, things that happen around and in Athens. We run a 30-year-old ministry, actually a 35-year-old ministry called Our Daily Bread, which is if you can call it a soup kitchen, but we serve breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday, and we probably feed about 200, maybe 200 plus people a day.
Wow.
And so that's backed by a lot of volunteers, a lot of churches, a lot of civic groups, a lot of people that come and serve and prepare meals. We do that at a First Baptist Church downtown. So that's kind of a Cliff Note version of kind of what we do. But the main part of our ministry and what I would call our mission is that we want to build up young kids, boys and girls, to be the next leaders here in Athens.
Yeah, I know that that kind of falls right in line with workforce development, and I know that's a huge talking point, especially here in Athens. I don't know if you're aware. I sat down with David Bradley, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and that was definitely high on his list of him trying to bring that to the front center stage for the Athens community, not only from a public school standpoint, but it's good to hear that it's also happening on the other side of the private school section as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of donors that give to our ministry because they know what we're doing, they see what we're trying to do for the future of Athens. They might not be Christians, they might not be believers, but they believe in what we're trying to do because they all have this nightmare that there's not going to be a sustainable workforce in the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So hopefully what we're doing with these young kids, these young athletes and these young students will propel them into something bigger and greater for Athens.
So I got to ask, with having that service-based mentality that you have, because nobody can be in a position that you're in or really kind of push or be involved in an organization like your guys without having that mentality. What did you do prior to this that kind of led you in that direction, if you will?
Well, it's funny. When I got out of college, I was a golf professional for a few years, and I went to work for a large golf company over in Augusta, where I'm from, called Clubco, and I worked for them for about 25 plus years. And I was the senior vice president of sales and marketing worldwide.
Okay.
And so I had a lot of salesmen under me, had a lot of sales and marketing people working with me, and I just sales is really, they say nothing happens till you sell something. Well, it's the working up to it, the nurturing of your salesmen, the getting involved with their families, getting to know them, being one-on-one with them, and a lot of face-to-face. So that's kind of what we do a lot with Downtown Ministries. We have a long history of great relationships with our families. You probably know this, there's probably over 300 plus nonprofits in Athens.
Yeah.
So people that want to donate and people that want to give have got a pretty big menu. And so ours is one of the few ministries that, we're the only one in Athens that kind of covers all three spectrums, whether it be sports, academics, and community life. So a lot of our donors see the different things we do, and the Lord touches their heart and what they want to do. And so we have a pretty large revenue budget every year, and we've got a lot of employees, a lot more employees than your standard nonprofit does. But we have a tremendous amount of volunteers. We have a great relationship with UGA.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of young ladies that come and do their internships with us.
Okay.
Girls from the School nonprofit, family and social, family and services. So a lot of these young ladies and some gentlemen want to have a future career in either nonprofit work or in teaching or coaching or something. So we have a lot of support from the University of Georgia.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me into my next question of, do you guys have any events or anything coming up or anything that you're looking for within your organization that, maybe we could use this platform as like an opportunity to give you some more exposure as well?
So, we have a very large donor base, 1,500, 2,000 people. And we're always doing different things. We're keeping our donors in touch with newsletters, email, Facebook, Twitter, all those things that we are trying to keep our donors and our volunteers aware of what's going on. We really only have two major fundraisers. I don't like to have a lot of fundraisers. I think it kind of drags out a little bit. We have our annual banquet, which we have every year, usually 300, 400 people. That's in March.
Okay.
And then we just got finished with our annual golf tournament, which we just finished up with in October. And actually this week, November 13th through the 17th, is that Friday? I think it is. Our ministry, Our Daily Bread, we're having what we call a fundraiser. It's called a Dine Out for Our Daily Bread, which we have lots of restaurants that pledge either dollars or percentages of their daily or weekly sales. It comes back to us that we can use that, to fund that ministry. So those are our three main ministries,
mm-hmm.
Our three main fundraisers, excuse me. And so, yeah, that's a good one. So you can go to our website, downtownministries.org, and you can go to events. You can click on Our Daily Bread. There's a QR code. You can click on that thing. You can see all the restaurants in town that are participating with us.
So I want to switch it up a little bit. One of the things I always like to ask, especially being kind of a business and a real estate minded or centric podcast, is, and I'm sure it's no different if it's not more challenging on a nonprofit side, what are some of the successes or challenges that you guys have been through, like in your personal experience with this organization, and how does that relate to maybe another organization that's not a nonprofit?
Yeah. Well, my former company was a for-profit, right? We're there to make money, and nonprofits are are geared around service and relationships that don't necessarily are not supposed to, for tax reasons, are not supposed to generate profit. Now, we've been blessed. We've got some good resources. We've got some good reserves just because we have a great donor base. But I would say probably some of the challenges that we face every day is that, is the constituents that we serve, the inner city of Athens. Those are living right at or below the poverty level. They probably don't vote the way I voted. They don't shop at the same places that I shop. They don't drive a car like I drive. And so you've got to blend, you've got to mesh the two together, and you've got to be yourself. You can't be something you're not, because our constituents, they'll smoke it out in a minute.
Yeah.
So it's all about being genuine. It's all about being relational. It's all about being. I want to say one of the reasons that we've been so successful is that we had our 20th year anniversary last year. So
congratulations.
20 years. So a lot of nonprofits come and go. I mean, they come in, they jump out. They come in, they jump out. And we've been around, so we've got some longevity. We've got some relationships that we formed, and we try to, even after our kids matriculate out of our programs, whether it be sports or school, we stay in touch with them. We have a lot of them that come back and volunteer for coaching, and
that's awesome.
Volunteering for different things. So we actually, at our Daily Bread, we actually have 2 homeless guys that are very, very strong, and we've actually brought them on staff. So they're actually working with us now, and they help us a lot with that community of guests that come to visit us, for meals.
So with everything that you have going on, being executive director for...
Well, I'm not the executive director.
Oh, I'm
sorry. No, I'm the director of development.
Director of development.
I used to be the executive director, and then we decided, well, it's kind of hard to serve 2 masters.
Yeah.
Be over everything and plus raise money. So raising money seemed to be it kind of rose to the top. So I said, let me help you hire my boss. That kind of thing. So no, I'm the director of development. So being the director of development, how do you balance having a successful, work-life balance and still being able to feel passionate about work, but also enjoying that time outside of work too? Yeah. So I came from Augusta, Georgia, which is a pretty solid Republican area. Come over here to Athens, which is a university city, and pretty solid Democratic. Not that we're getting political here, but something about it just really touched my heart. Was you got one of the richest universities in the country, and all around it's nothing but poverty.
Yeah. Public
housing, Section 1, and all these things. And what we deal with mostly, Jake, is we deal a lot with generational poverty, not situational poverty. So these people have been in this for a long time, and there's not many people that have come in from a caring standpoint and a spiritual standpoint. Most people come in with an enabling concept, give, and that's why we're still in the position we're in today.
Yeah.
I don't think that we'll ever change the culture of Athens as far as this concerns in my lifetime, but I think that the little kids that we've got in school and sports, and their kids and their kids, eventually, we might get it up to a workable level.
Yeah, we can only hope. And
yeah, because
show up every day.
Per capita, Athens is one of the poorest per capita cities in the country. Clark County. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is.
But so and I didn't think I would be as passionate about it, because back when I was in Augusta and being in the golf business, other things, poor people, different folks from different cultures. It really wasn't really in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But now I see the need, and it really is. So I enjoy it.
Well, that's awesome. It's always good to have that fulfillment.
Oh yeah.
So before we close out, one of the last things I always like to do is, with your experience and what you brought to the table so far, just in this podcast alone, and the wealth of information, For anybody else that's out there that's an aspiring, say, business owner, entrepreneur, maybe even that wants to get into nonprofit work as well, and they have a passion that's kind of ignited just from hearing this, what kind of advice or information could you potentially give to them?
Well, the nonprofit world is not for everybody, and the business world is a little different. I used to always, just as a very, very simple and common tip, I had 6 sons. I used to always tell my boys, do not ever quit a job unless you got a job to go to.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so that's pretty standard. But no, I would encourage anybody that small businesses. I'm all about small businesses, and I think that we need to do more to support small businesses, family-owned businesses. We have a lot of folks in Athens that support us that are family businesses, and their families have got a history of philanthropy, giving and helping and whatnot. So, I would always encourage somebody to, not everybody is a believer, not everybody's a Christian, but when you start a business, you got to think about the customer, and you got whatever you're going to do, you've got to serve that customer from A to Z. And, everything we do is not exactly right. We've got a lot of success stories in our ministry, but we got some failures too. We got some kids that came up in our ministry, and they're great kids, and they might be in prison now. They might be passed away. So it's just, you don't get discouraged, you don't get beat down. You take one step at a time and one day at a time. That's what we do, because we're not in this for the short term. We don't have a 5-year plan. We've got a lifetime plan. Yeah. So the people that come to work for us and the people that come to be involved with us, it takes a special person, and we make sure that they're got all the facts before they jump in.
Well, awesome.
Because it's not all roses out there.
Yeah, that's
just like in business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I greatly appreciate you being on. So Mr. Cary Rivers with Downtown Ministries, I'm going to have his contact information along with the link to Downtown Ministries, so that way you can find it somewhere around this video. If you guys are interested in checking out and learning more about him, definitely do so. I would advocate it. And then obviously, if you're in a giving mood, or if you are looking for a new charity to take part in and to volunteer time or financially, then I would definitely recommend Downtown Ministries if it is near and dear to your heart. But other than that, I've greatly appreciated it.
Yeah, I would just say one last thing, Jake.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a development guy, I'm not always all about the dollars. Sometimes when people see me, they grab their wallet. But volunteers are the heartbeat of our ministry, and we cannot use enough volunteers, enough strong men and women, whether they be college or middle age or elderly, good mentors and good examples mean a lot to these families, these kids. So volunteerism is great. We love to have you. And there's all kind of information on our website about volunteering and signing up and all those things. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.